All right, that's better. And I'm on time. We have history and politics. Hope you can join us live. If not, I will be putting out the recorded videos to catch you up. But we have some updates with history and politics. We may have been saved from Trump's convict leasing. When I say we, I'm talking about Americans. Because remember, first he wanted to deport Americans. Then he ran into some constitutional troubles, so he then said immigrants. Then he said he wanted to ship out people who were protesting against Elon Musk's business, Tesla, and back to violent criminals that were American. Well, in this bad idea of abusing imprisoned laborers, a recall, in my opinion, from the 1990s war on drugs, they sent a citizen of another country, but a protected temporary citizen of the United States, to El Salvador. So that meant they were not doing this efficiently. And not only was there room for mistakes to happen, a mistake happened. A protected citizen was sent, and El Salvador told them, we're not giving them back. Now, I have no idea what type of problem it would be to send this person back, but apparently they're not. Now, America is not going crazy because we don't care about immigrants. But what if it was an American citizen? And what's going to happen when it is an American citizen? Now, what I really believe is now it's messed up. They're going to kind of pull back on that because it's clear that this is not a constructive relationship and there is not equal power or a partnership. It should just be a situation as to where the leadership of the United States says, hey, we made a mistake. Can you send that person back? And they send that person back. But that is not what's happening. So the convict leasing of Donald Trump is kind of shot itself in the foot. The tariffs have been kind of pulled back. There's been some judicial intervention with the tariffs. So now the tariffs have been kind of pulled back. And the only thing that we have that has been done in the last 4 months by Trump is, well, not 4, 3 months. He has 3 things in 3 months. He has convict leasing, sending people to prisoners to El Salvador. He has the tariffs, and he has his reformation on American history. Well, we've gone past using the code words of America and American values, and we've narrowed into what it really was always about: black and white. Are they going to eventually talk about women's exhibits? Yes. Are they going to talk about Native American exhibits? Yes. But the main thing they're talking about, the first thing they went to, was the African American building, the African American Museum. And all of that coded language that was, the integrity and divisive, inherently racist, sexist, and oppressive, and irredeemably flawed depictions, all of that meant black folks being made to look like the victims of white people. That's what all of that meant. Because the first place they went was the African American Smithsonian Museum. Even to the extent that they don't want the building brown. They want the building white like all the other Smithsonian buildings. Now, this is no shock to black people. I don't know what black people this is a shock to, and if you are a black person that this is a shock to, please reach out to me, and so we can have you, so we can do a Zoom together, because this is how we believe. Now I'm speaking broadly for black people, and black people are not a monolith, but I'm going to speak generally. When we talk about history, we talk about general meaning. When I say white people, I'm not talking about each and every white person, just like Malcolm X explained in the autobiography of Malcolm X. When I'm talking about black people, I'm not talking about each and every black person. I'm talking in generalities right now. Most common black people that are the result of segregation, are the result of Jim Crow America, are the result of redlining, that grew up in inner cities, been victims of policing. We believe that's how most white people think. That to see us in a position of any advantage is problematic. If we, as black people, progress, whites say that's DEI or affirmative action. If we celebrate ourselves and not try to be a part of white culture, oh, that's CRT, that's dangerous, that's racism, that's hate. If we protect ourselves from white systems and function independently, like the Black Panthers or the Nation of Islam, oh, you're teaching hate, you're separatist, you're a black nationalist. Yeah. But the restoring truth and sanity to American history has immediately dropped its veil. There's no more coded language. They went straight to black people. It would have at least been intelligent to attack women first, because it's white women, it's black women, it's Latino women. Okay, we can kind of do that. Go after something. The immediate charge is to black folks. And I don't think any black people are surprised. That this is the white racist renaissance. And that's not a new condition for us. It's being done a little more boldly, but still using the chicken out euphemistic language, where instead of saying white people, they're saying American. When they're saying racist ideology, they're saying that means an ideology inconsistent with the one that celebrates white America. That's pretty much what that is. So this is the question that we have to ask ourselves about the Trump administration right now. They have picked up steam with convict leasing, sending people to El Salvador, tariffs, which generally broadens economic problems, and this reform on United States history. It shot itself in the foot with the convict leasing. They shot themselves in the foot with the tariffs. they're just starting with the reform on American history, but I was proposing with Trump's momentum moving forward, coming out of the gate with these reforms, if he continued this for a year, this was going to be in a period in America that will get a name. This will be a period that 30 years from now, they're going to ask you, where were you? You know, what was it like during that time? Just like people ask me, what was it like during that time during the Cold War? What was that like during the time of Rodney King? What was it like during the time of O.J. Simpson? What was it like during the time of the war on drugs? People are going to ask the young people now, 40 and 50 years from now, what was it like during this time of white reformation led by President Trump? I think he's doing it so clumsy and so fast out of the gate that he's messing it up. I think that when they messed up and sent that prisoner and El Salvador won't send them back, they're messing up that shipping people out, so they're going to have to pull back on that. They did all these tariffs and they've messed up the economy, and white people are losing money. Wealthy white people are losing money. But this is the deal. We don't panic when wealthy white people lose money. That's not when the country panics. Because it's easier to replace wealthy people's money. They just lift up how much poor people pay. And we have to pay $8 for eggs and all of that, okay? That's why everything is going up for us. That's why your light bill is high and all this stuff. When we can't pay our bills anymore, there is no system in place for us to get money from below us. And that's when the economy crashes. If they stop these tariffs before the poor people can no longer pay their bills, then that means they'll pull back on the tariffs, which would tell me these initiatives, like the reform on history, will stop. I think if they would have done it in the reverse order, if they would have started with the reform on history, it could have. That's social. That's window dressing. They messed up starting with the economic plan. And even Harris said, the economic professionals said that this is going to bomb by the middle of the year. And I don't think she would have done any better. I don't think that Biden would have done any better, which is why I don't vote for either group. I don't participate in politics. It just, as a black person, it just doesn't help. But historically, there is no proof that it does. But I think they're rolling out these programs that are failing so fast that this can't be the renaissance that Elon Musk thought it was going to be, that Trump thought it was going to be. It's just not going to do that. He's more of a puppet now than he was before in his first term. No, I don't think so. I don't think he's a puppet. I think he does what his base wants, because he's doing this stuff for poor, racist white people to be distracted while the rich are getting whatever they want. Because I promise you, whoever is invested in El Salvadorian prisons are not El Salvadorian people. That's rich white people that's getting that attention going down there. But if you're happy with us, I got your mind on the Smithsonian while we're raising the prices of eggs and heat and electricity. So he's not being puppeted. He understands history. And as long as I can keep the poor people distracted with nothing, yeah, these darn immigrants, yeah, we're going to send them out of the country, and the people in prison, we're going to send them out of the country. Why? Why would we care about El Salvadorian prisons? And most of our prisons are private prisons. Why would we care about saving money? That's not federal dollars that's taking care of private prisons. So somebody has invested in El Salvador and they're making it happen. So I'm a little disappointed. I was looking for anarchy. I'm a little bit like Frederick Douglass was with the Civil War. If this blows up, then we have to, the American public is going to swing back the other way. They're going to swing back the other way. Just like when they went Obama, oh, yes, we can. And then, oh, black man in charge, we don't like that. Let's go Trump. And I don't feel Obama, for black people, was any more useful than Trump. As with the exception of imagery, he was a amazingly educated black man with a amazingly educated black wife with beautiful black children. White people could no longer say the only black people that I know of is Lil Wayne. They couldn't say that no more. They couldn't say that they never seen a black man who was educated. They couldn't say that they never seen a black man who was articulate. They cannot say that there was a black man who was slow to anger. They couldn't say that they never saw that before. But what did he do in 8 years for black people? We did the Chinese Violence Act. We did that for them. We passed legislation for the other protected class, LGBTQ. We did that for them. But the black president couldn't do anything for black people. Not one thing. We still can't get the Emmett Till hope and change was the surface slogan for MAGA. You know what? I'm all about that because there is hope for MAGA people. I do believe that MAGA people are sincere. I really do. I really do. I think that they're sincere. My issue is, when was America great? Just like in this Restoring Truth and Sanity to American history, you're restoring it back to when? Because I teach from 1607 Jamestown, Virginia, to the Cold War, the 1980s and 90s. That's what I teach. My area of expertise is the Civil War. So at what point in history was the United States representation in history true, insane? We didn't get the true story of what happened with Native Americans. Remember, people my age, Thanksgiving was about the camaraderie between the Pilgrims and the white settlers. So, what period are we going back to in United States history that was true, insane? And as far as MAGA is concerned, when was America great? What is that date? Because I, as a historian, should be able to see what time in history the majority of whites want back. But make sure you like, subscribe. We do history and politics Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. If I'm not on at 9 p.m., I'm at the university. I am writing my book right now. I'm doing the last chapters, so I might be a couple seconds off. But make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, Dr. Darnell Bolton, PhD. We do class and session on Sundays. We do history and politics Monday through Thursday during the week.